Hey guys, after work here, need to wind down a little bit, and I don't know if you guys ever encounter that. Probably everybody does, but you get home from work, and you know it's winter time here in northwestern Pennsylvania. It's dark out, and the easy thing for me to do is to want to just sit around and eat, right? And you know, I'm like, I'm going to get out in the garage today, this evening, and do something productive. And so I've got these. If you watched my last video, I talked about I got these for Christmas, and I've never had a way to carry like a gun or a shovel or anything like that on my four-wheeler. And my dad and I were hunting this year together, and I was riding him back from out back in the property, and he's like, "You need to have a gun rack." You know, I don't know. Is that the way most sons, you know, execute the voice of their father? It's like, you got to do this, you got to do that. Well, you know, he's right. I needed to get something for the four-wheeler, and so I was looking into what I wanted, and Christmas came about, and boom, Dad got me these Rhino Grip XLs from Kolpin. And so what I'm doing here is trying to figure out how I want it organized, right? So, you know, where's the correct location for this? This is a Ruger 1022. It's not, you know, big bazooka or anything like that. But yeah, sometimes I like to go out in the woods and, you know, maybe I'll be taking this out, or a shotgun, or, you know, maybe, you know, a rifle, you know, one of my guns. And trying to get it, you know, spaced correctly. Have two of them. This is the lock and ride front for the Polaris 850, and therefore this whole unit comes off, but I'll do this. I'll take this off here real quick. So this opens up, and inside I've got, you know, a bunch of tools. I have a video on how I organize the inside of this lock and ride, and you know, an extra belt, a knife, a machete, tow strap, duct tape, things that you might need when you're out in the woods and something goes wrong and you don't want to have to hoof it back. You might be able to take care of the problem. I even have a can of Fix-A-Flat. You never know, you know. It's actually come in quite handy, because I've been out in the woods where I got stuck or got into a situation where I needed to winch to something, and I needed a little more length than the winch had. And so I was able to, you know, put my tow strap on it and gain an extra 15 feet, whatever the length of that is. I got a little searchlight in there that can plug into a power port, you know, and have a little spotlight, just stuff like that. But the back side of this, and I'll show you this here, hold on. All right, so now you can see the backside. You know, it has this ribbing to give it some structural support for this molded cover here, the top lid. And of course they have what seems like a little metal or aluminum, you know, structural piece. So I got to get this spaced in here so that the back plates from the Kolpins will line up correctly and won't have a problem. I don't want to end up, you know, really like to, you know, not have to drill holes, you know, right a half on a rib. Try to get myself so that I'm, you know, centered, or, you know, maybe in a corner so I got some structural support. Get that figured out. All right, so the kit comes with some hardware here. Got a backing plate, a couple of those, and what else we got? Those. Come on. All right, so we got some mounting hardware in there as well. Now, part of me says it'd be really nice if this was all stainless steel. I'm sure it's not, but I mean, the four-wheeler, it does sit in the garage. It's never left out in the weather. Probably not going to have a problem if these are, you know, zinc coated or, you know, corrosion resistant. So it'll probably be all right. I do tend to like to use stainless steel just because it doesn't rust and doesn't get nasty, but we'll work on figuring out a good location for these. and get some marks. See how it goes. All right, so one of the things I'm going to do, and you can kind of see, is I marked a straight line across the face of this. There's not really, everything's kind of angled. And so I use my T-square, and I want to get a good straight line that I can align the bases of these things to. And I'm just using a piece of chalk here. Now I got a pretty good alignment, right? And I can start to figure out where these should go. Get my tape measure. So, okay, and then just trying to figure out, you know, when the gun sits in there, does it look like it's going to be reasonable? Right, oh, just move that one. So that looks pretty good. Okay. So that would end up sitting roughly like that. Looks pretty good. Now I got to think about the spacing between the two, and also make sure I turn the handlebars, make sure I'm not going to, you know, have a collision. If I put this way back, you know, it's possible that if I turn the handlebars far enough, maybe I'm going to have something interfere. So I want to make sure I'm spaced out so that, you know, the guns aren't going to hit each other. If I put shovels in there or rakes, they're not sitting right on top of each other. And I'm going to use, let's see here, I can probably do this. I'll get this aligned nice and straight, and then I'll do that. Define my positioning there. Do the same on that side. Make sure my distances look good from the center line, and work on making sure that I'm cleared on the back so that I can drill through. Don't have any interference with something, you know, that's structural or going to cause a problem. And then put the plates on. All right, let's take a look on the inside and see where we're lined up. All right, so it looks like I need to move back a little bit, and if I move back a little bit, yeah, I think I have to go over just a whisker. That way, if I come up here, should be in good shape. All right, so I'm going to move it a little bit. All right, we've got this corner set. You know exactly where this is going. Cleaned off the inside. We're just going to set some holes here. Actually, you know what we can do? This is kind of a neat thing about these. You pull these clips, and you can actually take that right off. So this has a serrated bottom, and you can lock it in to different locations. The other thing you can do is disengage this to lay it down to different angles if you need to do that. So fairly flexible and adaptable little holder there. But yeah, set. Need to go next size up, I think. 1564. Oh, bigger. Probably a 1/4 inch. I just didn't want to over drill it. I'd like it to be somewhat tight to the Nothing like drilling holes in your good stuff. Alright, we got that there. That there. There. Alright. We got that one. That's going to go down through. So we'll complete that for each of these, for the first two front ones. Then I'll set my spacing for the second set that's going to be more towards the handlebars. So again, trying to make sure everything's in good shape. It's nice they give you lock nuts on these, so it won't back out under vibration. All right, you can see the first plate is installed. I gotta decide, I may end up chopping these off. It looks like they actually give some little plastic covers that I could pop over them. Oh, that might work out. Put those over it. That'll protect all the stuff here from hitting the ends of the studs and getting scuffed up and whatnot, so we just might do that instead. It looks like they're going to stay on there pretty well. Alright, so basically just got to replicate that up here and then over there, and then we'll be done. Here we have the completed project, and it looks like it's going to work great. So they do send you these little rubber kind of tie downs so you can lock over. Again, you can pull this out, pull this up, take it out, or you can lock it into a whole bunch of different positions. Stick that back in there, lock it in. See the plates on the inside. Everything worked out great. So I think my dad's going to be pretty happy. Next time he goes hunting with me, we'll be able to put the guns up here in proper order. We don't have to juggle them on our laps and trying to drive the four-wheeler and, you know, just all that rigmarole. So now we got these on there. Curious to see how they hold up. They seem like they're pretty beefy. As I said, I think that I can actually use it during the summer as well when I'm, you know, out with the four-wheeler in my trailer, doing some yard work, tidying up. Might need to haul, I don't know, a shovel. Let's see. Put a shovel in it. Yep, that'll work too. Really looking forward to seeing how they work out here. So, yeah, appreciate you sticking with me through this little project, and actually got to do something productive after work. Makes me feel pretty good. Thanks a lot.